big boy. Low and slow. It's Continental-United is what he's painted up like. But seriously? He's in level flight, he's not climbing. Get adjusted. It's pretty bouncy on my part, sorry guys. I hear a second plane. Oh yeah, right above him. There's this guy. There he is. Something. We're working on something together. What's going on? That means something's going to change. We'll see some clouds showing up here in a little bit. Alright. You can see we just have a few cumulus over the mountains. Otherwise the sky is gorgeously clear. Nice and blue. Water vapor imagery has some of the moisture returning. So we'll probably haze up a little bit later on this afternoon. There's another plane. Yep, they're back. See if we can't get the glare off his tail. See whose colors he's flying. What a day. Another one. Low and slow and overhead. They just keep coming. Just missed a plane. It's kind of fading over the mountaintops. The clouds are just now beginning to form. We talk about the holes. Here's one, here's one. And then we've got this brightening between the two. So the clouds are starting to come together. And like we said earlier, the water vapor imagery is showing the moisture overhead. I'm seeing a lot of little bright flecks rolling through the clouds, but it's fall. We've got spiders in the air. We've got all kinds of pollinating things and seeds that are in transport in the atmosphere. So they're not necessarily UFOs. We just have a lot of plant material airborne today, and probably will for the next month, month and a half. It's a funky little cloud. Probably a little vortex that's going to start spinning. In fact, you can see it rotating. Yep. A little etheric vortex. I thought these things were scalar in the beginning, but it doesn't explain it all. I think they're etheric. You see it spiraling. It's growing, in fact. These usually last 2 to about 8 minutes. kind of at the core of all thunderheads now. Everything is this etheric, this implosive vortex. Tornadoes, hurricanes on a much grander scale. There's something churning, something with an inward pull that draws in the water. The water condenses. And then the cloud begins. Alright. It's a minute and a half of that. Another plane overhead, this one leaving a little bit of a trail. These high altitude business jets. Still a part of the program though, because a normal plane would not be leaving a trail. Come back out. There's that cloud. Still have this little guy spiraling in. UPS. Kids.
Hey, Xander. Chill out, dude. Here, look at this. Ready? Here, look. You're faking it. That's not real. I know it.
That's
What about when you do the chemtrail thing? Have you been able to
oh yeah.
nail them?
Yep.
What are they?
Same. Well, I don't think that's like if this guy was trailing, he probably wouldn't be a UPS plane. He'd probably be just painted up to look like UPS, so he blends
So
in.
in other words, they just totally disguise
Yep.
the craft
Yep.
and do whatever they
Yep.
want.
And then I think these airlines have been blackmailed into participating.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think they're blackmailed.
I totally
They
think
have
that
plane
they-
crashes that they have to write off to something. You know, to say you're in line or you're fucked. You're in line.
That's not good,
No,
bro.
people
That
die.
hurts my head.
People
That hurts
die
my
because of
head.
this.
That hurts
Yep.
my head.
I think that's the only thing to explain it. It's the only thing to explain it. It's been pretty much all day long. These planes have come over. Very few have left trails. Saw one little business jet doing it, and now we've got a Southwest flight. Well, masquerading as a Southwest flight, if I'm seeing this right. You know, leaving one behind. I mean, we're at sunset. We're at sunset. So, you're not going to see this visible for much longer, but nevertheless, the length of this trail is data for these guys. Whether it lasts 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 8 seconds, or 25 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's data. Data, data, data. It's surveillance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it seems like it's lasting about 6 seconds. And now I'm hearing another plane. There's another one nearby. Probably not going to be able to see it. No, never did spot this other flight. They're kind of tough to catch when we get into this twilight, especially if they're not trailing. You see, we're just losing the last bits of daylight. Sunset's now, what, 7:20? We've lost an hour of sunlight already here on the 5th of September. And you know, there we are. There's our point of sunset over on the San Juans. So, night is falling. Fall is definitely here, at least at this altitude. I'm at 8,100 feet, so we haven't had our first frost yet, but that's just a matter of time. Kind of cool, this deck of clouds here. You can see the different wavelengths, kind of up the top, not wavelengths, it's not a proper term, but just angles or cuts in these clouds. And you know, I've learned to almost see patterns in static. You know, stuff that I never noticed 10 years ago is now glaringly obvious to me now. And it's amazing what you see, you don't unsee. You know, just more keeps being revealed. But here in southern Colorado, really a relatively quiet day weather-wise. Just a few cumulus, temperatures topping out in the upper 70s, not quite 80 degrees. Low humidity, so there he is. There's another one. So, these low and slow flights continue. For whatever reason. You know, and he's straight overhead. I'm gonna have to change my orientation and pick him up again. There he is. So I'm not able to pick up paint schemes, you know, from this angle. But he's just way too low to be commercial, and you can tell he's not climbing to an altitude. He's just kind of cruising along fairly slow, easily under 300 miles an hour. Easily. So, you know, people get all flipped out about these Predator drones and armed drones flying here in the States, but, you know, we already have them here. They're already here, and here's one of them. They're just painted up to look like commercial flights. They're just not carrying passengers. There's another cargo that they've got. And this is why I'd like some pilots to, come forward and share what they've seen. You could do it anonymously. This is not a difficult thing to do, but by God, I think as a population, we deserve some integrity. We deserve some answers about what's going on up here. Help us out so we can understand what's going on. And I know there's many layers to this program. One thing I don't talk about is what's so much into the trails, because I haven't done, other than a few water samples about 8 years ago, back in 2005, I haven't done much of that. I'm more into the meteorology. All right, everybody, keep looking up. Yeah. We know who that is, don't we? Low and slow. They're surveying something. Huh. There he is. Straight overhead. Who pays for this? It's a good thing the Fed can print their dollars. Because if these programs relied on the Treasury of the United States, all our gold would be gone. We would have spent our wad a long time ago. Gone, gone, gone would have been the National Treasury. It's a good thing we've got fiat dollars to pay for all these adventures in the sky. Immediately, here's another one. No trails. He's low and slow. This is what they've been like. It's been very difficult to step outside today at any time, whether it was early this morning or now at sunset, and not see these planes. The count is off the charts. So something is happening. And I don't know. I don't know how much of it is weather, because there isn't a lot of weather happening. There's something else that they're doing. And it's not commercial planes. Even though it looks like them, it just isn't. Anyway, enough of that.